Just crank and crank and crank and crank and crank and crank. Keep cranking, baby.
So this is the fob, and of course the fob won't work because your battery is disconnected. So you have to slide this and then pull that out. Alright. So in this vid, I'm going to show you basically how to change the battery, where the battery is located, and how to swap it out. Of course, you know, if your battery is disconnected, the only way to get in is to use the key. All right, there's no key fob access. All right, open that bad boy up and open the other doors. Now to open the back door once you get in, you can't do this. All right, you have to manually pull this up. Now you can open the door. Now it was shocking to know that a lot of people don't know where this battery is located, but it's located behind the passenger seat. Let me clear all this crap out. And we're back. So under the passenger seat, you have this access panel here, or hatch. Pop it open, and this is where your battery goes. You have your positive cable, you have your negative cable, your ground cable. You also have this ventilation hose. This is connected to your battery. Must be an AGM battery. All right, and this is so the battery will vent. All right, excuse the mess down there. All right, this vehicle needs a lot of detail. And one thing to point out, this bracket, before you could remove the battery, you have to remove this bracket. All right, I'll show you all that when I put the battery back in. And this is what the battery looks like. So it's a H7 AGM, and this is the vent port. All right. Make sure your battery is AGM and make sure it's vented. This is 850 cold cranking amps. I'll probably upgrade it to an Optima yellow top. I believe that one is 880 cold cranking amps. But I'm gonna put this one back in. It was tested, charged, and it's good to go. So let's see. Now when you put the battery in, make sure the positive terminal slides in first. All right, and that's the negative. This one goes in the back. So this end goes in first, slide in, under, lock in.
Right. And everything is cleared. Make sure the battery sits in that tray. All right. Now you see that stud right there, and that one, that's where the bracket goes. You slide the bracket in, the bracket will lock in right here, and then you put the nuts on. I believe those nuts are 12 millimeter. Now for this vent tube, real simple. All right, hole, stick it in till you hear that click. Stick it in. Pause. As the young folks would say. Then you want to connect your positive. All right. Hook up the positive terminal first, and then you hook up the negative ground terminal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tighten that one first, and once this is nice and snug, then I move back to this one. Now this blue wire is because I have a sound system hookup. All right. See, we have a fuse holder, inline fuse. That's to protect the circuitry. All right, so let's get back to this. Now to tighten these, you need a 10 millimeter socket. All right, nice to the 10. Slide over that nut, and you just crank and crank and crank and crank and crank and crank. Keep cranking, baby. Keep cranking until it gets nice and snug. All right. Now you see how the battery just moved up. That's because the bracket is not engaged. And here goes your bracket. Bracket goes down. It will tie the battery in or slide over those. But let me clear the wires first and get it down. Alright. It's a bit cumbersome, but we'll get it. Alright, so the bracket is engaged. Oh, free zip tie. Alright. 12mm nuts, alright? Make sure your battery is sitting in that container right there. Alright. You don't want any kind of slide in. You want to eliminate movement, basically. Make sure it's nice and snug. Alright, tighten up those. Push the battery all the way to the front. Sit it in the tray. On the two sides, it should be good. So I'll connect this and I'll clean up those wires and we'll give it a test. Yeah, your boy is dangerous. That's what I do, baby. Nice and snug. Yeah, for these you need an extension. Alright. You could go hand tight, and once it gets tight, you use a ratchet, put a few more turns on it. Here it's slowing down now, so you know it's getting there. Do not over tighten. Alright, can't stress that enough. Do not over tighten. Just careful those wires when you slide this in. See those tabs? Make sure it clicks in. Lined up. Up. Done deal. So your lights are on, indicator the battery's good, and nice and bright. Need to change these to LEDs. It's a process, but we'll get it done. So down here, footwell light is on, nice and bright. We are in business. Battery's good, and this is a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland. I believe the battery process is the same for 2012 to 2017. So the battery voltage is looking good. 15 is where we need to be.